Hello everyone. I began this series by talking about freedom and what comes in the way of freedom. And we explored some of our fears and some of our emotions that come in the way of freedom. We also explored our identities, both inner identities of victim, of rescuer, of judge and of guardian and so on, and also external identities, including our religion, caste, class, and um, also our role-based identities, our professional identities, and so on. And then we also spoke about how what role does body and language play, and what can we do to expand our feeling of freedom. And today I'm going to share a small technique with you uh, based on what we have discussed in the last this and last three videos, and uh, it can involve everything that we have talked about. And so what I want to start with is about this technique is, first let me explain this framework to you and then see how we can apply it. So in our life we have a lot of aspirations, we have sensitivities, we have experiences, and there is a whole lot of things in our life that we are concerned about. So we are concerned about our own body, our health, our growth, our profession, our finances, uh, our friends, relatives, uh, and then we are also concerned about social issues, environmental issues, the violence in the world, the poverty. We also have spiritual aspects. So all this falls under our area of concern, and depending upon our beliefs, our identities, our values, our experiences, what we are concerned about can be different for each person, but broadly it would fall into these categories. We are concerned about a lot of things, but we may not be able to do everything to take care of all our concerns. It may not be possible for us to do it. So, for example, I may be very concerned about the environment, but except for taking care of things in my home, I may not be able to do anything about it. Or I may be very concerned about my health, but I have, say, a genetic problem, or um, I can still fall ill despite taking care of everything. May not be under my control, and other people may not, even my own children or my very immediate family members also may not be. I may not be able to control some of the things that they do, right? So my circle of concern may be very big, right? But my circle of control is always smaller than my circle of concern. It's very rarest of the rare, and I cannot imagine what would that be, where the circle of control is equal to circle of concern. It is very, very difficult for that to happen. So there are certain things under my control. For example, exercising may be under my control, or taking care of my diet may be under my control, or the way I speak or connect to people may be under my control, or some parts of my work may be under my control, and developing my own skills may be under my control. But so that is under my control. So one of the things that I have learned is that focusing on circle of control can have two effects. One effect is that I feel very restricted, and I say, "Arey, nothing is in my control. I don't know. I may die tomorrow morning. Who knows? Or something may happen, and I don't know how to control that." Could be a very fatalistic viewpoint. My language can be, "Oh, very little is under my control, and I really don't know what's the point of bothering." That will not give you freedom, because anyway, you've accepted the situation that you are not free. The other is that I look at my circle of control and I say, can I expand it? Can I do certain things to be able to influence some other aspects of my concern? So, sure, I cannot control another person's behavior, but I can speak to that person. I can try to understand that person. I can bring in somebody else to speak to that person. Say, if I'm having a personal difficulty, or I'm ill, but I can talk to some doctors. I can look for various avenues of healing. I can stay positive. I can uh, talk to certain people, get different kinds of help. So there are things that are under my control, and that I can help and expand using my circle of influence. So there are certain things which are not under my control, but they are under my influence. I can talk to people, I can take certain actions, and I can influence. And when I start doing that, the circle of control begins to expand. When the circle of control expands, circle of influence will also begin to expand. The more expanded it is, the more it will take care of many of my concerns. It will make it easier for me to look at my circle of concern, and then I will not feel so restricted. All the inspirational stories from your own life, from life of people you know, as well as life of people you don't know, will actually tell you that. So people are born in poorest of situations, have studied under lamps, street lamps, and become very well educated, and now own companies or own houses or own places where there is no dearth of electricity, for example. I'm just giving a very generic example. People are handicapped, they don't have sight, or they are not able to speak or hear. Helen Keller, for example, is a very classic example of somebody who had such a small circle of control, but she expanded it with help of somebody, and made it a little larger. May not be as large as somebody who has been bestowed by uh, all senses, but still she was able to do something more. So there are people who struggle with illnesses but stay positive, work, expand their immunity, increase their immunity, talk to people, and they are able to increase their circle of concern with the help of others. So, sorry, their circle of control with the help of others. And the more they are able to do it, the more influence they are able to exercise, and therefore it looks like they are greater in their control. And of course, the tools that we have is our own body, our awareness, our intelligence, um, other people, our relationships, books. So many of so much knowledge is getting shared even through these videos by different people and different experts. Whatever suits us, whatever we resonate with, we can use to go on expanding circle of control. And the more we do it, the more our confidence will increase. If you really look at your own life, you over a period of time, your circle of control has gone on increasing. As a child, you didn't even know how to write alphabets. Today, you're able to write paragraphs, or you're even some of you may be even writing books, or you may be doing so many other things using that skill. But there was a point in your life, sometime, when you it was not under your control at all, and it has happened. And I don't mean it only in terms of knowledge, skills, attitudes, habits. I also mean it in terms of the network we create, in the resources we gather, the confidence we gather, the experiences we have. So the way to use this exercise is draw these three circles and start writing all the areas of your concern, everything that you're concerned about. Out of which, write what all is in your control and see what can you do. I have used this exercise with people to just ask them to do in a particular area. So say a person wants to in next 5 years wants to become a senior person in the organization. I've asked that person write that in the circle of concern. Then write, to become all that, what all is under your control, and then how will you increase your influence. Do this exercise for a problem, for a specific situation, for something that you are aspiring to get, or for that matter, feeling happy in a day-to-day basis. Write that as a concern and see what all is under your control, and therefore what all will you do to increase your influence. Do this exercise, you will experience freedom. I have seen this working in a lot of people that I have coached, and I have also seen it working for myself. Thank you.
Help Talks are daily health related talks held at Health Education Library for People, Mumbai, India. For more information visit www.healthlibrary.com. Subscribe to Help Talks channel. Be better informed about your health.